All right, guys, we are here today at Stick Marsh. We've been hearing so much about Headwaters Lake lately, and obviously, because it's awesome. But you know what? I feel like now, Stick Marsh was just this big storied place, and it still is, but it's getting overshadowed a little bit by Headwaters. So you know what? I thought today, let's give Stick Marsh a little bit of love. Stick Marsh fish is really good on an east wind and a south wind. A north wind is not great for it because most of the fishing's in the south end of the lake. We've got a little bit of a north wind today. I don't think it's going to be enough to hurt it, but the rest of the week we're going to have a lot of north wind in like 10 to 20. So I'm sure I'm going to fish. I have a couple days to fish this week. Yes, I got a couple days to fish this week, but I'm sure with the north wind that's coming, it's not really supposed to get real cold, but it's just going to blow out of the north. I know I'm going to be fishing Headwaters, so I was like, let's slip over and show Stick Marsh a little bit of love. So come along, let's see how we do today on Stick Marsh. Oh, yes, sir. That's a big one. Good gracious. I mean, chomp that thing. Oh, skinny, but a big girl. Gonna talk about a quick start to the day. Oh, let's get this one back. Let's get in there and see for some more. Here we go. Let's let this one go. There he is again. I don't know how this is back to back to back to back to back to back, I think. I don't know. All I know is they're biting right here, boys. Oh yeah. Nice one. They are biting. They've got the chew bag on. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 3 bags full. Trocar's got him. Look at that one. Nice one. Let's see how many back to 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 back back to back to back one for you guys. Missed the spot a little bit right there. Oh, I missed it. There he is. Another one came back and got it. Well, let me tell you this, boys. Headwaters is awesome, but guess what? Stick Marsh is still pretty good too. Stick Marsh is still pretty good too. I've lost count. I don't even know how many in a row that we've caught. Lost count, but it's been a bunch. There's a wad of them right here. When they get wadded up like that, I mean, they're feeding. It's in the morning here, and so many times the guys will catch a fish on a cast, and they'll just keep on going and never make another cast up there. And this is the kind of stuff. This is the kind of stuff that you can be missing. I don't know how long this is going to last, but I feel like there's got to be still a few more up there. And sometimes it just takes a bait change too, an angle change like we talked about, because obviously there's a bunch of them on this spot. Like we've pretty well established that. Sometimes you might have to go to a different bait. I'm throwing a lipless, might want to go to regular crankbait or a worm. That's a couple of casts that haven't had a bite, so I'm gonna kind of angle out off the end of it a little bit. It's just a little bar. It's got some muscles and stuff on top of it. But the way that wind's rolling across it, it's obviously must have some bait stacked up on top of it. That's obviously got the, there he is. That might be a better one right there. Had a pretty good head shake. Pretty good head shake. See, all I did was change the angle on my cast out just a little bit from the exact spot I was throwing on before. Oh yeah, boy. Oh yeah. That's a big one, boys. That's a big one. That's a big one. Oh yeah, I don't know how many we caught in a row. And you know, and they were all nice 3-pounders or so, 2 and 3/4 3-pounders. And then that guy shows up. How about that? All right, guys, so here's the deal. You saw us stop up there on that shell bar, that little hard spot kind of thing, and just absolutely manhandled a bunch of bass. So once they quit biting, you know, we moved angles on them a little bit, changed a couple of baits. They pretty much quit biting. So now we're gonna slip down here in the south end of Stick Marsh. As you can see, we've already whacked them, and it's only like 9:30, and we didn't even get out here early. So we've already whacked them pretty good today, caught a couple of really nice ones. But this is a time of the year, you know, that the spawning season, that down here in the south end in the grass, this is where the really truly biggest ones ought to be. So we slip down here. There's you know, there's a few other boats out here, but there's plenty of room for everybody to fish. We're gonna try to find some bigs down here in the grass. Fell off. Right at the moment of truth. Acting like Bobby Lane, because I got a salt lick in my pocket. Decent one. That one bit me twice. I had to get after him 2 times. I see that one's peeing. That one looks like a new fresh one just coming in. So that's like I was saying, in all of these areas down here in the Palm Bay area, all these, whether you're at Stick Marsh, whether you're at Headwaters, you know, whether you're at Three Forks, it doesn't matter. All the fish, they spawn in the same areas, but they don't all do it at exactly the same time. So you never know when you get in there and the first 2 you catch are, you know, skinny. You can tell they're post spawn. You're like, oh, they're post spawn. Let's get out of here. Then you never know, because the next one you catch might be a fat 10-pounder. You know, they just, it's all different down here. You know, so far this has been, I mean, we could, you know, obviously early we started out catching them really good on that lipless bait, but it has certainly turned slick. We've caught a bunch of fish, but it has turned into a stick worm, a net bait salt lick day. I've been throwing it when it gets calm like this. I actually have a little bit heavier weight than I normally throw. I got like a 1/4 ounce on there. Normally I'd be throwing an 1/8 right now, but honestly, it's too lazy to retie right now. But next time I retie, I'm gonna put even lighter weight on. But I got that 5/0 Trocar TK100. It's just the HD worm hook, just a standard worm hook from Trocar that I like so much. Ardent Apex Grand Reel 7/3-1. Dude, when they bite that worm and they slackline you got to be able to reel it up real quick. Throwing it on a Halo KS2 Elite 7.5 medium heavy. The 7.2 medium heavy work for this too. I'm a tall guy, so I like a little bit longer rod. And I'm throwing 17-pound. This actually I think is 18-pound fluorocarbon. And that's all it is. Just your standard worming rig. And guess what? It's working. I got one shoe on, one shoe off. Catch a bass. One shoe on, one shoe off. How about that? You know, one of the things that's really, really important when you're in the shallow, you can see all the grass here where it's really, really shallow water, is being as quiet as you can. I'm trying to only use the trolling motor when I have to, and I can see some more holes in the grass over there. You know, some that way I'll kind of use the wind. It's just real light wind, but I'll use the wind to just quietly drift us into these places. So most of these fish are all in these holes in this eelgrass in this situation right here. And I'm catching them all on a net bait salt lick. This is a tilapia magic color. But one of the things I've learned about these fish, and these fish that are in these holes up here in this shallow flat, they're in some stage of the spawn, okay? Somehow, whether they're post, pre, or actually doing the deed right now. But one thing I've noticed down here is when you pitch, just like this, when you pitch your bait into the hole and it sinks down and hits the bottom, don't immediately start to work it in that hole. And this is so key, and you get so many more bites when you're fishing for fish that are some stage of spawn like this. Pitch it out there, let it sink to the bottom. Okay, it's on the bottom. Now just leave it lay there for 3 or 4 seconds. It doesn't have to be a long time, but don't start working it as soon as it hits the bottom. Leave it lay there for just a couple of seconds, and then so many times, that first time you move it, you feel dunk. Like for whatever reason it is, I don't know if they follow it down or they watch it come down and they just sit there and look at it, and then the first time it moves, they bite it. But if you start working it right away, you won't get nearly as many bites. There we go. There we go. You know the fishing's good when you keep the pliers under your feet from now on, because your trocar stabs them so good. And you got to keep a pocket full of salt licks because you're going through them. Good times. Whoa, 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 whoa. There's a nice one. Look at that guy. Look at that guy. That's a nice one. See, now that one, you can tell that one hadn't spawned. That's old Thicky. It's like I said, every one of them's different. It'll be sometimes into April. And every once in a while you'll still catch one that's fat, but we are working a little bit further out towards the outside edge of the grass. So maybe that's, I gotta get another salt lick. Maybe that's why the last couple have been a little bit thicker. That was an awesome bite. Look at that, dude. It went in that hole, and it went down about, I don't know, 1.5 feet or 3 feet of water. My line went doink. Oh, that's awesome. What a bite. How cool is that? All right, guys. What an awesome day we had on Stick Marsh. We didn't catch any of those great big giants that live in here, but man, we caught so many. My hands all tore up from handling so many bass. I mean, it was just an absolute fun day. We were out there for about 6 hours or so and just really caught the fire out of them. So much fun here on Stick Marsh. But I want to go over with you guys just real quick. This morning was all about the lipless crankbait. We caught them on those little bars and shell beds and stuff. Just a 1/2 ounce. I got some trocar hooks on it. It's kind of a purple chartreuse belly. I really don't know if it would have made any difference or not, the color. I'm throwing it on 18-pound fluorocarbon. I got it on a Halo 710. That's the cranking series. Halo 710 cranking series. I just like throwing a trap on that. I got it on an Ardent 6.5-to-1 Apex Elite. I like the 6.5-to-1 when I'm kind of yo-yoing that thing, because when I yo-yo it and I pull it up, like I don't want to overwind it. So I usually put it on that 6.5-to-1. But that was the star of the morning bite for sure. We caught one on the Scum Frog Launch Frog. You guys know I love this thing. We caught one on it. Wasn't a real big one, so I don't know if we'll show that or not, but that scum frog, launch frog, a lot of days has piled them on. We caught 2 or 3 on the Chatterbait Freedom CFL, and that's that fat-headed one that the hook swings around. We caught 2 or 3 on it. Same rod as the lipless crankbait, the Halo 710 medium heavy. Same reel, the Ardent Apex Elite. But the only difference in this, I put it on 30-pound braided line. I like throwing a chatterbait on braided line. So that we caught 1 on the crankbait. I threw my beloved Whopper Plopper a lot. Nothing. And most of the day was perfect. Little bit of clouds, calm, perfect Whopper Plopper. Nothing. I got nothing on old plop. But as you saw, we got a bunch. Netbait Salt Lick. Nothing fancy. It's a stick worm. This is tilapia magic color. I had a 1/4 ounce weight on it, went down to an 1/8 ounce, didn't make any difference. I got the Halo bobber stopper on it. I got a TK 100 5/0 standard HD worm hook, nothing fancy, 18-pound fluorocarbon. There's nothing fancy about this rig other than it catches a pile of fish. So most of them came on that today. I'm throwing it on a 7.5 Halo KS2 Elite, 7.5 medium heavy, Ardent Apex Grand. It's a 7.3 to 1. I like to throw that a little bit faster reel, be able to catch up when they bite it and start coming at me. But that's the 3 days. I would say the key deal today, what happened and what made it an awesome fishing day, was once it got slick calm, was just working that worm slow. Like just, and you guys saw in the video, I'm just crawling that thing. But a lot of times when they would bite it, tunk, I mean, they would really hit it good, but it's just a slow crawl. So it's cool. Hope you guys liked it. Awesome video, super fun on my end. I don't know how many I caught. Quit keeping track on back-to-back fish this morning, and then how many we caught on the worm was crazy. But hope you guys liked it. Remember, like, subscribe, go down there, hit that like button, subscribe to it, leave a comment if you want to, whether you liked it, you didn't like it, whatever, leave a comment. Thanks everybody for checking out JT Kenney Fishing.